Ladies and gentlemen, today we step into a world where distractions are at their peak. Our attention is scattered, our discipline tested, and our focus is constantly hijacked by things that do not truly matter. But the ancient Stoics, men like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, left behind timeless wisdom that can sharpen your focus and rebuild your discipline like steel. These are not just theories, these are practical truths that, when applied, can increase your focus by 200% and transform the way you live and work. Let's explore these 10 Stoic truths that will reprogram your mind for clarity, control, and discipline. Control what you can, ignore what you cannot. The Stoics believed that freedom begins with knowing what is within your control. Energy wasted on things beyond your control destroys focus. Stop worrying about outcomes you cannot change. Instead, direct all your attention toward actions you can take today. That alone doubles your focus. 2. Discipline is destiny. The Stoics taught that discipline is not a punishment, it is the path to greatness. Discipline in your habits, sleep, work, and daily routines builds mental strength. The disciplined mind cannot be distracted easily. 3. Time is your most precious resource. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Treat time as your currency. Stop spending it on things that do not move your life forward. Every wasted moment weakens your focus. Every intentional moment builds it. 4. Focus on the present moment. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You live only in this moment." Focus dies when we live in regret of the past or worry about the future. Bring your full attention to the task in front of you. That is where your power lies. 5. Voluntary hardship strengthens the mind. The Stoics practiced discomfort, cold baths, fasting, or living simply, because struggle sharpens discipline. When you train your mind to embrace discomfort, distractions lose their power over you. Focus becomes natural. 6. Your thoughts shape your reality. Epictetus taught that people are disturbed not by events, but by their interpretation of events. If you believe you are easily distracted, you will be, but if you train your mind to see challenges as opportunities, your focus deepens. Your mindset shapes your discipline. 7. Eliminate the non-essential. The Stoic life is about simplicity. Remove the clutter in your environment, your schedule, and your mind. The fewer things competing for your attention, the sharper your focus becomes. Simplicity is power. 8. Memento mori, remember death. The Stoics constantly reflected on mortality. Why? Because remembering that life is short gives urgency to your focus. If today were your last day, would you waste it scrolling endlessly, or would you live with intention and discipline? 9. Progress over perfection. Stoicism teaches progress, not perfection. Do not chase the illusion of flawless focus. Instead, build it little by little, day after day. Small victories compound into massive discipline. 10. Virtue is the highest goal for the Stoics. The purpose of life was not pleasure, wealth, or fame. It was virtue. When you align your actions with higher values, distractions fade away. Purpose fuels focus. Virtue fuels discipline. My friends, these 10 Stoic truths are not just words to admire. They are tools to live by. If you practice them daily, your focus will sharpen, your discipline will multiply, and your life will move forward with unstoppable momentum. Remember, a focused mind builds an unshakable life. The choice is yours, life scattered or life disciplined. The first key to building unshakable focus lies in the wisdom of the Stoics. Control what you can and ignore what you cannot. Much of our energy is wasted on worries, regrets, and fears about things that are entirely beyond our power. We worry about what others think of us, whether situations will go our way, or if success will come quickly enough. These thoughts do nothing but scatter our attention and weaken our discipline. The Stoics understood that freedom and clarity begin when we separate what belongs to us, our thoughts, actions, and choices, from what does not, like the opinions of others, random events, or the unfolding of fate. When you commit to focusing only on what is within your control, something remarkable happens. Distractions fade, clarity strengthens, and your productivity doubles. Think about it. If you stop stressing over the traffic you cannot change and instead use that moment to reflect, plan, or listen to something that grows your mind, you have turned wasted energy into progress. If you stop worrying about whether people will like your work and instead focus on making it the best you can, your results improve dramatically. Control means power, but only when it is directed inward. Energy scattered outward creates anxiety, but energy directed inward builds focus. Each time you face frustration or distraction, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is yes, act with strength and discipline. If the answer is no, release it and move forward with peace. This practice, repeated daily, sharpens your mind and shields you from unnecessary mental chaos. The moment you embrace this truth, you unlock a discipline that cannot be shaken, and your focus becomes a weapon that sets you apart. Discipline is often misunderstood as restriction, but in reality, it is the foundation of freedom and greatness. Without discipline, the mind is weak, scattered, and easily manipulated by every distraction that comes along. With discipline, however, you create order out of chaos, direction out of confusion, and strength out of weakness. The Stoics believed that discipline is not a burden, but a guiding principle that shapes your character and determines the quality of your life. A disciplined mind wakes up with purpose, follows through on commitments, and resists the temptation of comfort and laziness. Imagine a soldier preparing for battle. Without discipline, he cannot endure hardship, follow commands, or achieve victory. In the same way, without discipline in daily life, your goals and dreams will collapse under the weight of procrastination and distraction. Discipline is built in small, consistent actions, waking up on time, managing your time wisely, following a routine, and training your body and mind to push past excuses. Each act of discipline becomes a brick in the fortress of your focus. Over time, this fortress makes you resilient, unstoppable, and capable of achieving things most people only dream about. The Stoics taught that self-control is the ultimate form of power because a person who rules themselves cannot be ruled by external temptations or circumstances. Discipline is the fuel that drives focus, and focus is the weapon that achieves results. If you want to rebuild your discipline, start with one habit, one promise to yourself, and keep it no matter what. Every time you keep a promise, you strengthen your inner will, and with every repetition, your focus grows sharper. Discipline, therefore, is not punishment. It is destiny, and it is the key to unlocking your highest potential. Time is the most valuable resource you will ever possess, yet it is also the one most often wasted. The Stoics constantly reminded themselves that life is not short, but rather we squander it on meaningless pursuits and distractions. Every second that passes is gone forever, and how you choose to spend it determines the strength of your focus and the quality of your future. Seneca taught that time is like currency, but unlike money, once it is spent, it cannot be earned back. The tragedy is that people guard their possessions carefully, but give away their time freely to anyone or anything that asks for it. Social media, idle gossip, endless entertainment, all of these rob you of the hours that could have been invested in building discipline, developing skills, and creating a life of meaning. To rebuild your focus, you must begin to see time as sacred. Each day, you are given 24 hours, a treasure chest that contains the potential to change your life completely. The question is, how much of it will you waste, and how much of it will you invest? When you spend time with intention, you automatically strengthen discipline because you are training your mind to resist distractions and prioritize what truly matters. Even the smallest decisions, like choosing to read for 10 minutes instead of scrolling aimlessly, build a foundation of focus. Remember that the clock never stops ticking, and every moment you waste is a moment you cannot reclaim. When you live with this awareness, procrastination loses its power and urgency fuels your discipline. Value your time, guard it fiercely, and spend it wisely, for it is the one non-resource that, once lost, will never return. Treat time as life itself, because that is exactly what it is. The Stoics believed that comfort weakens the mind, while discomfort builds strength, focus, and discipline. In a world where convenience is everywhere, people lose the sharpness that comes from struggle, but voluntary hardship, choosing discomfort when you don't have to, creates resilience that distractions cannot penetrate. Practices like waking up early, fasting, exercising in the cold, or working longer hours than you feel like are not punishments. They are training grounds for the mind. Every time you push yourself into discomfort, you send a signal to your brain, I am stronger than my excuses. The Stoics knew that life will bring challenges, suffering, and difficulties no matter what. So the wise person prepares in advance. By practicing hardship, you condition yourself to face any storm with focus instead of fear. When you choose the harder path, the easier one no longer tempts you. For example, if you train your body to endure hunger through fasting, then small inconveniences like waiting for a meal will not distract or frustrate you. If you train your mind to sit in silence without reaching for a phone, then constant notifications lose their grip over your attention. Discomfort teaches control, and control creates discipline. The reason many people fail to focus is that they run from pain and chase ease. But focus requires sacrifice. It requires the strength to do what is necessary, not what feels good. A voluntary hardship transforms discomfort into power because every struggle faced willingly sharpens the edge of your will. The Stoics were not afraid of hardship. They welcomed it as a teacher. When you embrace discomfort, you step into the arena where true focus and resilience are built. Discomfort becomes your ally, and through it, you gain unshakable discipline and unstoppable clarity. Distractions thrive in cluttered environments, chaotic schedules, and overloaded minds. The Stoics understood that simplicity is not about having less, but about removing what does not serve you, so that what truly matters can shine. When your life is filled with unnecessary possessions, commitments, and noise, your focus becomes scattered, constantly pulled in 100 different directions. But when you strip away the non-essential, clarity emerges. A clean workspace, a simplified routine, and a mind free from excess thoughts create the perfect ground for discipline to grow. Focus is like a beam of light. It becomes powerful when concentrated, but weak when scattered. Every unnecessary object on your desk, every useless notification on your phone, every meaningless task on your calendar steals a piece of your attention. By practicing simplicity, you take back control over where your energy flows. Imagine if you dedicated your time only to things that truly moved your life forward. Your health, your growth, your goals. How much sharper would your focus become? How much stronger would your discipline feel? The Stoics practiced minimalism, not for style, but for strength. They believed that the fewer distractions you entertain, the more freedom you gain. Simplicity is power because it eliminates choice overload and decision fatigue. When your environment is clean, your schedule intentional, and your priorities clear, you save mental energy for the things that actually matter. Discipline does not thrive in chaos, it thrives in order. Begin removing one unnecessary thing each day, an object, a task, or even a thought that no longer serves you. With each act of elimination, your focus sharpens, your energy multiplies, and your discipline rebuilds itself. Simplicity is not weakness. It is the hidden strength that fuels greatness. The Stoics believed that a life without purpose is a life vulnerable to distraction, and a mind without virtue is easily broken by temptation. When you do not know why you are doing something, your focus wavers and your discipline crumbles. But when your actions are rooted in higher values, integrity, wisdom, courage, and justice, you create a foundation so strong that no distraction can shake it. Purpose acts like a compass, guiding your attention toward what truly matters, while virtue becomes the fuel that powers you through difficulty. Think of a person who works only for money. The moment challenges come, they quit because their foundation is weak. But someone who works with purpose, whether to serve, to grow, or to build something meaningful, cannot be easily stopped. Their discipline is not forced, it flows naturally from their vision. Marcus Aurelius ruled as an emperor, yet he reminded himself daily that his purpose was not glory or wealth, but service and virtue. That clarity gave him the strength to remain disciplined even under the heaviest burdens. In your own life, distractions lose their power when they are weighed against purpose. Scrolling aimlessly, indulging in laziness, or chasing empty pleasures feels insignificant when you know your actions are tied to something greater than yourself. To rebuild discipline, you must ask yourself daily, what is my purpose? And are my actions aligned with it? When you live by virtue, every choice becomes intentional, every task gains meaning, and your focus sharpens effortlessly. Purpose and virtue transform discipline from something you must force into something you embody. The Stoics knew this truth: when you live with values higher than comfort, distractions fall away, and what remains is a life of clarity, strength, and unstoppable focus.